Last Sunday, when Pastor Rick asked us to make an annotated list of things that we'd done wrong and things that we're afraid of and things that we're resentful about, I thought, world's worst writing assignment. And I thought there was no way that I could write such a list, and I figured this is just something that I'm not going to do. But then after the worship service, we went to the sermon talk, and it was a good discussion, and there were some questions that I had that were clarified, and by the time Marty and I were driving home, we were talking about this list and making these lists. I thought, yeah, I guess that's something I can do. But I knew that I hadn't picked up a bulletin that had the assignment on it. But Artie had her bulletin, and I did ask her if she would make a Xerox copy of hers, and I thought, well, she's busy today. She's probably not going to do that, so I didn't really think anything more about it. But then the next morning, Artie went into her devotional time, and I did the same. I went to my spot where I do my devotions, and there's an old end table with a drawer that has my Bible and my devotional book in it. And I opened up that drawer, and what was in there was the photocopy of the bulletin with the assignment on it. So I knew I had to sit down and try to do this. And so I just sat there and tapped my pencil point on the paper a few times and thought about it. And then I started to write, and I wrote 2 pages. And I was really easy on myself, too. When I look back at the couple of pages that I'd written, I realized that there were a lot of things that I was resentful about. But what I realized when I started to analyze the things that I was resentful about, what I realized was that it wasn't other people or institutions or anything like that that I was resentful. It was resentments about me. And then finally, at the end of what I was writing, I had really shifted over to an emphasis on here's what's really wrong, and it's my failure to acknowledge my complete dependence on God and on God's grace for everything. And it just made me realize how grateful I am for God's grace.
I've always been a writer. Even as a child, I liked to write stories and poems. I've kept diaries, and in my adult years, I've often kept prayer journals. Last Sunday, when I got Pastor Rick's assignment, I took my prayer journal and thought about what it was I wanted to write. I put it in the categories of fears, faults, and resentments. And then later that week I would add more as I thought about it. Looking over the list, what surprised me though is even though they were in different categories and they were what I thought very distinct items, that most of them had a common root. And that common root was the fact that too often I tried to find my value, my worth in things of this world. And that results in great insecurity. That when you get your value from how you look, what you do, what other people think, it really is a roller coaster ride. And that isn't God's plan for us. We should get our value from the fact that we're a child of God and that He loves us, He made us, and He died for us. In looking at that and in having that aha moment, I'm hopeful that I will be better able in my prayer life to really focus on that root, and then maybe my lists will get shorter.